And as I said, largely it flows from financial statements. And as I said, financial statements are also certified in a way that should not be done. Largely it flows from financial statements. And as I said, financial statements are also certified in a way or misleading. That should not be done. Largely it flows from misleading and what is wrong is actually very important. And as I said, financial statements are also certified in a way or misleading. That should not be done. Largely what is misleading and what is wrong is actually very important. And as I said, financial advanced one. What is important therefore is there has to be some sort of a codification of this. How do you make sure that true and fairness has been achieved when the balance sheet was signed by chartered accountant or the auditor in that case? So auditing is a technical term which we use. But what is auditing really speaking? End of it, you are giving an assurance. So audit is a function which gives assurance to all those who want to rely on the statement. So it's a public statement, public document, and in case of companies, obviously it's a public document. It is available on the website of Register of Companies. Anybody can access it. In case of listed companies, it is available with the stock exchanges, respective stock exchanges where you are listed. So in this case, it is very important that there is an auditing standard on auditing SA 200. What does it say? Sir, it says, overall objectives of the independent auditor and the conduct of an audit according to standards on auditing is the mother standard of all standards. And it also says that it is an assurance which is given in a way that provides reasonable assurance about the financial statement of the company. Now, what is reasonable is very important. So there is a concept of materiality in auditing. Because when you audit companies, and Indian companies are also now becoming bigger and bigger, we have large companies, so you cannot conduct the audit of those companies unless you use the concept of materiality. Use materiality and find out whether this particular aspect is material in nature, that's why I should report on it, and therefore you can qualify the report. So even though you say it's a true and fair picture of the company, you can qualify your statement as an auditor. In that qualification, you will say something which is material in nature. So my request is, considering all these important aspects of this, while I understand why this government is thinking on these lines, but I personally feel there is a need for a serious rethink about a composition of Constitution of Board of Discipline in which no harm having an outsider. This is absolutely a part of fairness. But the numbers should not be such that you'll have non-chartered accountants outnumbering chartered accountants who are qualified to do that. And I give an example of doctors. Suppose if you sit a medical board in which you get 10 people, of which 8 are non-doctors, what would be the finding of that medical board would mean, end of the day. So I think this is something which I request the Honorable Minister, and I know I've known her for years, she's a most reasonable person, so she will definitely look into it. If not now, I'm not proposing amendment, but I'm sure over a period of time, you will definitely look into this. The second part which has just been mentioned, and this is something which I was wondering why there should not be, if under section 21(8), anybody can file a complaint against a professional body or a professional member of that body, rightly so. It has to be like that. But when you file a complaint, it should be taken to the logical end. What is logical end? The logical end would mean that the complaint should be heard by appropriate authorities, should be disposed of in a manner after probably giving even judgment on that particular process. But during the pendency of that complaint, it is always possible that you can withdraw the complaint. Sir, even in the courts, if you file a petition, the courts allow you to withdraw. Of course, you need to seek their permission. Here in this house, if I present a bill, I will seek the permission of the house, but then I can withdraw the bill. So I don't know why there should be a provision which does not allow the withdrawal of complaint. Because complaint has to be taken to logical end, I am fully agreeing. But for whatever reason, I decided to file a complaint, and then I realized that probably it was not the way it should have been filed, or the merit of that complaint I was not knowing at that particular time, whatever could be the reason. But I think there is a need to also allow the withdrawal of complaint rather than saying this. Of course, there are provisions which is trying to bring in more coordination between the three bodies. I am told there is already a coordination between the three bodies. Of course, there is a reason to bring it. I only feel that when you decide the terms of reference of these coordination committees, which is going to be chaired by the Secretary of the Corporate Affairs Ministry, should be done in a way that we must realize that there are three distinct bodies dealing with three distinct functions, though related to main sector, corporate sector, but completely different functions. And that's why in the wisdom of this parliament, we decided to have three different bodies. We never otherwise we could have made one single body. But we realized that there is need to have three different bodies. And when you have three different bodies, coordination is always a good idea, there's nothing wrong. But making sure that this coordination will happen in a way, keeping in mind the distinct identities as well as the different role of these individual professional bodies. I think that's something, if it is done properly, would really help in a very important way. I also feel that the removal of firms, I think, Madam Minister, I would like to just bring it to your attention, something which again is an important aspect. Ultimately,
starting on 18th
particular professional member has not done a good job and it is finally concluded. So then the end will definitely happen in the removal of his membership, rightly so, because that's the ultimate punishment you can give. Because if you feel that he's not performing his professional duties rightly, what right he has got to continue to be a member, understandable. But there are instances
nights departing on 18th May 2022 be the first
in the country. There's a capital market regulator, SEBI. There is a banking regulator,
First to experience-
Bank of India. There's an insurance
be the
regulator,
first to
IRDA.
experience
And there are multiple regulators, even for pension fund, we are regulators of different kinds. Suppose if one of the regulators, for whatever reason,
latest
finds out
excitements
that
that
there is
the
something wrong and this firm or this member is not done a correct job, you should not then jump to conclusion immediately to remove his name from the register of members. That is what might happen, and that is something which will be unfair and even denial of natural justice. And also, in what context other regulators, because we are now creating even a disciplinary committee here. So let the disciplinary committee deciding about it is understandable and logical.
Dubai frame the end Dubai
Because of certain adverse findings on some other context by other regulator or other bodies, not necessarily regulators as well, if we are going to finally terminate a membership, it will be very unfair. So I think, I'm sure that is not her intention, and therefore
The
I'm sure
future,
you will take
an
note of this
experience.
eventually. But I know it is not your intention. I'm just pointing out to you that what would be the situation as a result of that. But coming to the very important aspect, sir, this is a time that we have a great opportunity to bring about huge increase in our service exports. So luckily, I succeeded the finance minister as commerce industry minister, and I had known the good work that she had done, and I'm not sure I could carry forward such a good work as she did. But the huge potential for service exports, and our service exports will rise faster than merchandise exports over a period of time. And in service exports, one of the services that we can export in a significant way is this professional service which are coming from these three institutes. Whether chartered accountants, whether cost accountants, or whether company secretary institute and the members can actually bring about a huge increase in their export earnings and also create huge job opportunities. There are many possibilities that you can render these services offshore. Sir, this particular pandemic has shown, in a way, most of the work now largely got explaining and what is just imagine, in all these financial services, in auditing, there is taxation. Auditing, of course, is a regulator subject because you have to do audit, you have to be registered in that particular jurisdiction. But otherwise, you can carry out such services in a very efficient way, so auditing remotely. And there offers a great opportunity for
what is
all
auditing
these
really
professional bodies.
End
So in
of
that context,
You are
we
giving
must
an
strengthen them,
So
make them more effective,
is a function which gives
make them more
assurance
efficient, to all
there are
those who want to
number
rely
of
on that
young
statement.
chartered accountants
So it's a public
who are
statement,
now
public
wanting to
document.
be
In
chartered
case of
accountants,
companies, obviously
despite the
it's a
fact that
public
they could
document.
see
Under the, if it is available,
not a good chartered
on the
like me,
website
but
of
still
range
they
of
want to
companies,
become chartered
you can
accountants.
access it.
And I
In
know
case of
that this
listed
is
companies,
possible.
it is available
That
in
we
the
can
stock
create
exchanges,
huge
respective stock
employment
exchanges where you are
opportunities for these
listed.
not millions, but
So,
few lakh
in this case,
chartered accountants or
it is very
aspiring chartered
important
accountants.
that there is
And
an audit,
cost accountant
auditing
complexity, the
standard.
number will be higher.
Standard
So
on
I
auditing
feel,
is
realizing
200.
this, we
What
should
does it say?
keep, yeah, I'm
Sir,
just.
it says
So we'll
overall
really need to
objectives of the independent
strengthen
auditor and the
these
conduct of an
focusing
audit
bodies.
according to
I'm
standards on
sure
auditing
we'll
is the
take
mother
these
standard of all
appropriate measures
standards.
along with
And it
this
also
amendment
says
that we are doing,
that
will also
it is
work
an assurance
on
which is given
ensuring
in a
that
way
this potential
that
that
provides
this particular
reasonable
three
assurance
professional
about
bodies
the
hold will
financial
be exploited to the fullest. Sir,
Now,
thank
what
you
is
very much.
reasonable is very important.
Thank you, Mr.
So
Prabhu.
there's a concept
The
of
next speaker is
materiality in auditing.
uh,
Because when you audit,
Timothy
companies
Mosam
and
Gould.
Indian companies are also now becoming bigger and bigger.
Thank you, sir.
We have large companies.
I
So
rise
you
today
cannot
to
conduct the
oppose
audit of
chartered
those companies
accounts,
unless you
cost and works accounts and company
are also now
secretaries
becoming bigger
amendment
and
bill.
bigger.
And I would
We
like
have
to thank my
large
party
companies.
for
So
giving me
you
an
cannot
opportunity to
conduct the
oppose
audit
the
of
chartered
those companies
accounts,
unless you
cost and works accounts.
Sir, let me
and
begin
company
These are also
by
now
pointing
becoming
out
bigger and
on
bigger.
behalf of all India
We
Criminal
have
Congress
large
that
companies.
something fundamentally has
conduct the
changed
audit
on
of those
how our
companies
parliament
unless you-
cost and works accounts.
Sir, let me
and
begin.
companies
While
that
this
are
particular
becoming
bill
bigger
has
and
been
bigger.
scrutinized by the Standing
have
Committee,
large
that
companies.
something fundamentally has changed on how our parliament has cost and works
Sir,
accounts.
let
So in
me
the
begin.
15
While
Lok
this
Sabha particular bill has been scrutinized by the Standing Committee, Lok Sabha something fundamentally has changed what is the number now has fallen. In the 70s in the Sabha, while this particular bill has been scrutinized by the Standing Committee, Lok Sabha something fundamentally has changed what is the number now has fallen. In the 70s in the Sabha, while this particular bill has been scrutinized by the Standing Committee, Lok Sabha something fundamentally has changed what is the number now has fallen. In the 70s in the Sabha, while this particular bill has been scrutinized by the Standing Committee, Lok Sabha something fundamentally has changed what is the number now has fallen. In the 70s in the Sabha, while this particular bill has been
where this schedule post and task as an account. So, speak on the bill. Speak on the bill. Where this schedule post and task as an account. So, speak on the bill. Speak on the bill. Where this schedule post and task as an account. So, speak on the bill. Speak on the bill. Where this schedule post and task as an account. So, speak on the bill. Speak on the bill. Where this schedule post and task as an account. So, speak on the bill. Speak on the bill. Where this schedule post and task as an account. So, speak on the bill. Speak on the bill. Where this schedule post and task as an account. So, speak on the bill. Speak on the bill. Where this schedule post and task as an account. So, speak on the bill. Speak on the bill. Where this schedule post and task as an account. So, speak on the bill. Speak on the bill. Where this schedule post and task as an account. So, speak on the bill. Speak on the bill. Where this schedule post and task as an account. So, speak on the bill. Speak on the bill. Where this schedule post and task as an account. So, speak on the bill.
Any premature severe manner. 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 Any premature the center, what really is the